Welcome to this session. We expecting 12 of you, 11 of you, but maybe some have not come yet. So I think we shall start because it's already too late. Okay. First of all, my name is Ajarya from School IT, and Ajarya from School of Management. So we will have another teacher in the afternoon who will come to do demonstration for you. Okay, we have how to say that a live channel that we open it for. First, I would like to introduce this floor. This floor is innovation hub that we would like to promote learning innovation that we will have, for example, media production. We do media production for teachers. If you have something like your courses, you want to make some media, and you may utilize already existing media. But if you have your own media, then it would be better, right? So here we have that sort of support. And we also have technical support over here. Technical support, for example, you're going to have an online class and you don't know what kind of application is good for you, is suitable for you. You want to have like video production and you don't know which application is good for you. You can come here and then they will give you suggestion. Okay? And other kind of technical support, for example, you buy a computer, you buy a microphone, you buy a camera for your class, for example. You also can come here and talk to them, they will give you advice. Okay, but not giving you money, of course. And before we starting the section about the Moodle, we're going to have a small game. I'm stopping the music. Okay, we have some small game, which is going to be a pair game. So you're going to find your pair, and it's a kind of drawing game. So one of your pair is going to be a drawer for drawing things. Another person is going to be, how to say that, an instructor to tell you what to draw. Okay? Okay, let's first find your pair first. Okay, sounds. Okay, sounds like we have pairs, right? So good. So one of you, one of the pair is going to be drawn. So you can have that. Okay. So now,
you can move to that table while you do these activities. You will need.
This game is called back-to-back drawing.
You don't need.
Who knows about it? Do you know about it? No. Okay. Back-to-back drawing is
Just
the pair you turn back, back to back. Okay. And the instructor will get a simple photo, that image, and you try to tell the other person to draw. And you try to, imitate, you try to copy as much as you can. Not the back.
No,
That's back to back.
like this, and Ajahn Nikon will tell me what to draw.
Yes. And we give you an image. So you have to use your experience to tell the other person what to draw. Okay? And the key is the drawer cannot ask any question. So it's one-way communication. It's one-way communication. So the drawer has to, have to design your sequence of, telling information. So how to tell that and how to make it. You can tell exactly what it is. You can say it's an elephant, for example. You draw an elephant, yes, fine. But you have to try to copy to make it more similar to the original image. Okay? So now I think we understood all the instruction. So now we want to give you the image. Okay.
You are the instructor. You are the instructor. Then
Turn your chair.
do not make it fancy. You are the drawer. Don't let one see this.
I'm going to give you a tricky. Yes, just make the let's make just by Can you start?
Yes, you can start.
That again, this is
You can start now.
on the board. And then the characters answer.
You listen to it and you draw it according to
And then the characters also.
Let's get a bit more.
Position of the waiting for your food. It's a bag.
But the cactus has like one branch, one
The
small
position
branch.
looks like smoky the chapter of your the position so you mean smoky is the
Eyes.
the sticker smoky. Smoky or
How do you want to instruct this?
20 seconds left.
On the head.
Oh,
It's beautiful. It looks like
9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
yes.
Thumbs up. Now let's check it out. How was it? How is it?
Close enough.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Close enough. Would you like me?
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. A little bit of the trail, the trail has a little bit. No? Yeah, let's try to get it. how to say that, the
You scan.
selfies, your group, your team, with your photos. There. And then we ask to share on our class, our course.
ที่เป็นตัวอาหารไม่ได้ใส่ชื่อนะใช่ใช่ครับ
ทิ้งเราไปก่อนเอาไว้ก่อนเดี๋ยวเราต่อยให้จะมีครับ
Actually, slide.
Good journey. So you take a picture of.
Okay. So I give you some background. Yeah. So what you learn from the exercise? Yeah.
So you take selfie you and your
We really kind of complicate
with this.
and I said only one way complication. So the picture is not very exactly the picture of picture.
So yeah, about what Akshan has said, so I think as again it's one-way communication. So sometimes when we try to transfer, like say information, knowledge or whatsoever, we have to be really express the details, you know, maybe some other information or direction or yes, you know, like it holds the information about what we see. But it's up to me, it's also reflect that what we want, what we need, it's actually cannot be exactly what people will, cannot accept.
Understand.
Correct.
So you are the drawer,
I am the
instructor. So it has a lot of factors, right? Not just three components. You have sender, media, and receiver. Not just only three factors, right? You have culture behind that. You have background behind that, right? To interpret, to tell some story, right? So there are a lot of factors regarding this kind of communication. Okay, so I give you some brief idea about the LMS. LMS come from a learning management system. Of course, we have like 4 applications we programmed during the COVID time. Right? We have Zoom, we have Microsoft Teams, we have Google Meet, and WebEx. Right? So those are teaching applications, but this is not for teaching. This is for coordination. This is for management. For example, you don't do the examination on WebEx, right? On Zoom, right? Because those kind of things for like conference meeting, right? So you do like on the Google Form, and then you put it on Google Classroom, right? So but the Google Classroom itself is so-called management tool, but it's not LMS because LMS is supposed to be more advanced, has more features about learning more than that. So now the Macalone University want to promote this kind of LMS. We don't develop this by ourselves, but we use the open source one. It's called Moodle. Moodle is a brand of one LMS, and this LMS is open source and is developed by a community. So many popular universities, in Thailand and abroad as well, they do this Moodle. They implement this Moodle. So they have a lot of features. But for today, we will learn some basic features to let you able to implement it in your classroom. So that's what we expect today. And the content today, we start this morning with the first one is course setting, and then the content management. How can you put content into the system? And then the integration of those 4 applications. You have Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Meet, Google Meet, and WebEx. How can we integrate them into the system? Suppose you want to make appointments with your students to have online discussion. How can we do that? That is covering on this morning. And in the afternoon, it's talking about the quiz examination. How can we do examination? And examination is not only for evaluation, it's also for learning, right? You may do some small quiz. And this quiz, the student can look at the right answer, for example. And they can do it as many times as they want. So that kind of examination is not called examination, it's called assessment, quiz, exercise instead. It's multiple choice, it can be a short answer, it can be true, false, it can be any kind of exercise which they can see the feedback immediately from the system. So that one can test the understanding, right? So that's what we can see from this in the afternoon.
So I guess you get your laptop connected to the internet already, right? So why don't we start by getting to the LMS website, lms.nfu.nc.th. During this period, you might not be able to search it in the Google search engine. Maybe in the next few months, we'll make it available. But right now, you have to go through the address bar and type exactly this one, lms.nfu.ac.th. You will see this page, login page. Normally you can log in through Google using your NFU email. Okay, you have the Google button here. You click there and log in using your NFU email. For students can log in using their Lamduan mail, student email that NFU generated for them. If you use external email, the system will say error, and external email cannot log into NFU learning management system.
Because it's meant to be for internal use, so we're not opening this for external people to use the system. So if you have a NFU mail or Lamduan mail, you can log into this system. Okay.
Do all of you log in already? Okay.
The first course we're going to introduce you is about this classroom activities 101. This course is going to introduce you different kinds of activities that you can visualize during your class time. Because the university launched the policy of blended learning, right? In blended learning, you have both the in-class activity and also the online activity. So they make you So the university promote about blended learning. So maybe you experience about you use this in your class, right? You meet your students every day, right? So what about if we change it to blended? That means something is going to change your class activity, right? You don't have to transfer all the knowledge during your class time, right? So you can put your content into the online. So let's begin to read it or study it themselves. The content doesn't mean only just your PDF, just your link, just your video. You can have several. You have content, yes. In content, it can be text, it can be a video, it can be an image, it can be a graph, diagram, whatever. These are called content. And then you have some kind of exercise, and this exercise students can, they can see how to say that their understanding level, right? So you can see the score immediately. They can see the answer, they can see the score, they can do as much as they can, for example. So this kind of learning, they can repeat and repeat and repeat, right? This kind of online learning. What about in the classroom? How can we conduct a classroom now? Because the content is already online, right? So this kind of activity is called classroom activity 101. If you search in your Moodle and you search it, the course. Yeah. Yes. And then you copy it and you can search, and then if you find it, you can copy the enrollment key, and then you can get into the course. This is the enrollment key, okay? You copy this and then put into the enrollment as a password. It's just like a class code of the Google Classroom. When you get in, and then you can see the content. So you can see the content. So we keep improving this content. You will see more. We try to categorize them. Okay, so you can see that some activities is for ice breaking, some activities for creativity, for example. We add more like debating, discussion, project, group, this kind of activity. We're going to do it by adding more content into this course. So you can come here and look into some kind of activities, and then you can embed it into the class. So this course is meant to introduce you different activities that you can implement into your class during your class time. Okay. So you log in, you get into this course as a student. So you are not teacher now, you are students here. Okay. And when you go up to the click on the home. Yeah. When you get out of the course, get out from the course, clicking home on the left. Yeah. You can see your courses, right? Can you see on the left, or on the right? There are several courses, right? The courses click section are not used, so please skip it. The courses with section is not used, so skip it. The courses is meant for using is the course without section number. You can see right on the left.
So So when you get to your course, you will see this interface. You have the course name and the course number in the big title. And on your left-hand side, you have the panel, which is the navigation bar that will point you to many menus. For example, if you have 10 topics, you can go there. You would like to go to topic 1, topic 2, 3, 4, you use the panel bar on the left-hand side. Or if you would like to go to the first page, home page, you can use that panel bar. Here, the course is customizable. You can customize this by yourself. If you see on your right-hand side, you see the here menu. You will see the drop-down list. First, you click on Edit Setting. Edit Setting. Edit Setting. You will get the setting of the overall of this course. You will get the overall setting of this course. Starting from the course name, if you would like to make some adjustment to your course name, and short course name, course category. This course visibility you can choose whether to show to student or not. If you say show, student will see this course in Moodle. But if you select hide, student will not see this course at all. It will be invisible for student. For example, you created this course, but however you didn't want student to see it now. You just hide it. Next, you have start and end date of the course. You can set to the system on what date you would like this course to open for the enrollment, and on what date you would like this course to end. And system will do that for you automatically. But I suggest you don't enable it right now because you would like to manage by yourself, right? Sometimes the student come late, sometimes you would like to end this course later than the REG system, later than you expect. So maybe you are not going to use this function for now. And description, course ID number. This one is the course code derived from the REG. Okay? Course codes that we use the same from the REG system. And on this description, is this the course description from the TQF, or you would like to generate new course, you have new course description. For example, this course is talking about logistics and supply chain management. Student will get the knowledge, for example, that you would like to tell the student when they see this course and when you get their intention to enroll in this course. You can select to show or not to show. Okay? You can try putting in now. You can try putting in the course description for your course. Yes? If you finish with the course description, you can scroll down and you see course image. You can even put the image for the course to show up on the first page so students see and may get attracted to it. You click here at the arrow, you can drag and drop files here to add them. Okay? You can also drop the files in the box, or you just click here and then choose upload the file from your computer and then upload. Next, are you following? Are you following? If you're not catching up, let me know how we will help you, okay? Just raise your hand. I'm ready to stop anytime. So the next, we are talking about course format. The course format, the format that you would like the Moodle to set for you. You click on this drop-down list, you will see single activity format, social format, topics format, weekly format. So this depends on how you arrange the course. If you arrange the course according to the week, you can select weekly. And then if you just week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. But if you select by topic, it will be just what we have right now. Topic 1, topic 2, 3, 4.
Excuse me, this is to set up the level. What did you say before? About Moodle and this?
Okay?
What did you say between Moodle and this before?
Moodle.
Yeah, you just said something about Moodle before. You want to say the Moodle?
No, set the course setting in the Moodle.
Yeah, set the course setting in the Moodle, meaning you set the Moodle from this page, right? You set Moodle from this page. But Moodle is an open source, so why do we have to open this to set up the Moodle?
Maybe I didn't say it right. You have Moodle already, and then you have the course. Now we are setting up the course. This is the setting page for the course, for specific course.
On the LMS.
Yes, on the LMS.
You just want to be LMS and Moodle.
Oh, LMS and Moodle is the same thing. Moodle is learning management system. Moodle is the name.
The person already used Moodle, it's just something different on there. The person who already used Moodle is an open source, right? Meaning that when you open your account, in Moodle, then you can already do these things, right? You can already import things. So why do we have to go LMS.mhu? Is a something from Moodle or you apply? I just don't get this one.
Okay. LMS is a service, right? We have LMS is a service. It's the learning management service that we provide. Yes.
This one belongs to the
Yes.
university. So now the university registered to Moodle or whatever.
Moodle is a software brand. It's a brand. It's a brand that we install here for this service. It's a service. So this service actually is a brand called Moodle. The brand is called Moodle.
The brand is called Moodle and they have one service called MS.
Yeah.
Okay, so the university uses the MS
Yes.
service for Moodle.
Yes. It's just like you using Mac software. Mac software is a brand.
Okay, so basically this is MS through Moodle.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Basically it's just MS through Moodle. It's not, we are not using directly Moodle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Moodle is just a brand you can install on any server. Any server. For example, if you say University A using Moodle, it doesn't mean that University A access to Moodle server. No. Many is they install Moodle into their own server, into their own university, and then they use it. So they use Moodle. But they're not using the Moodle from the Moodle server. No. The Moodle server. No.
So they use the service for the university.
Yeah.
So I was a bit confused because when you said I set the Moodle and I was like,
My apologies for that. So this setting that we are working on is on particular course of yours. Okay? Next, you see the you have the sections. You can hide or you can show. Okay, you choose to show in the collapse form or you hit this section completely. You can choose. Next, the course layout. The course layout, I think I should show you a little monitor layout, right? For the course layout, first we will see what show or section on one page will look like. Save and display. So you have all the things in one page. See, you have Introduction to data science, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4. Then when you go to setting, and then choose course format, and then show one section per page. Then you display, you should probably see one section. Okay, this is the difference when you get to the course. Okay, we go back to the all section per page, save and display. You go to general. When you go to introduction to data science to one of the topic, you click means you get into that topic already. For example, this one, you get into the topic. Then you see all content, all topics in here, okay? All topics. But if you select one section per page, save and display. When you get to the topic, inside you will see only one. You will not see topic 2, 3, 4 inside here. You can save or display So this is the show or section or one section in the course layout. Okay? If you would like students to see all the topics when they are studying, see that progress, it is okay. You can set up to show all sections. But if you think students should see one topic one by one. Maybe you have content weekly. You would like students to see only this week. You just select one section per page. So when students are studying, they are studying focusing on that particular content only. Appearance, this one we skip it for now. Okay, it's a little bit difficult. File and upload. For this course, you allow students to upload the file up to 50 megabytes. For example, you have the assignments. You allow students to upload to the maximum of 50 megabytes. But if you say it's too much, you can limit it to maybe 5 megabytes, 10 megabytes, limit the file size. Okay, so students will not put in everything to your course. Completion tracking and groups, we will talk about it later. Okay? Completion and groups, we will talk about it later. Because it is quite complicated to put in the group work inside the LMS. Role renaming, we don't touch it. And then save and display. If you finish, you save and display. Then you go to home page or first page. Looking for your class. You will see the course description that you just put in. Okay? When students search for your course, for example, can I have the example of your course, Ajahn Sugar? The name or the code?
The name of national company.
International Accounting. So you will see the picture that Ajahn upload and the course description. Okay, looks getting nicer, right? A little bit. And students can get to the course if you didn't log the course. Okay? But we will teach you how to log the course and set the enrollment key later on. So go back to the class. Go back to the course that you would like to give. The same course that you were editing, the same course, okay? You see on your right hand side, top right, the same button. Next to the edit setting, you have turn editing on. When you click it, you will see the pencil icon here. And plus icon. Right now, you get it? Okay. You can follow? So this is editing one? you have turned on the editing option of the content. Now you are customizing your topic for week 1, for example, or for topic 1. You can start by add an activity or resources here. You can start by adding an activity or resources. You have a bunch of activities and resources that you can add for students. Starting from assignment, chat, checklist, choice, database, and many things that you can try. But right now what I am using is the form. I use it for the discussion. I post something and student comment feedback. Okay, so let's start from putting one page first. You scroll down to the resources and then you shall find the page. You found the page already?
Yes. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind here, but something. Could you return back how you approach this one? How do you do this?
Okay, this is quite clear. Okay, Moodle have the description for you on your right-hand side, what these resources are for. Okay, so first one, we would like to try setting up a page for students. Maybe you have your own content, original content by yourself, you would like to put in for students. You click on the page. Oh, sorry. You click on page and you click add. And then you see adding a new page. Page is used when you would like to put some information, some content, maybe theory that you don't have it outside, you don't have it in the website, you don't have it in the link. You have it in the book, but well, you cannot put the whole book inside the system. It is not right to do that, right? The whole book into the system. So sometimes you just want to put some information for your student. You would like student to read just this paragraph. So first, you put the name of this page. For example, put the name. And then if you scroll down, you shall have two boxes. You have description box here and you have content box here. Don't confuse, okay? Do not confuse between description box and content box. Description will show under the name on the front page, okay? But the content is what you would like to deliver to students. The content is what you would like to deliver to students. Actually, the description is optional. You don't have to fill it if you don't want to say anything. But you can put the picture if you would like to customize or to make it a little bit beautiful. Let me introduce the text box for you. Okay? In the text box, you have heading, you have the font. You can edit a little bit about the font. You have bold and italic format that you can edit. You can put the bullet point in there or number like this. Bullet points you can also put in there. And you can make the link. You can make the link. When students click, they redirect students to outside to the external resources. Okay? You can put the picture. You can insert your image. Or you can put some short video, small video, small size. You can put the recording, the voices.
What constitutes as a small video?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I thought I had a small video.
It could be the small video that you introduce the topic that you are talking about. For example, if this topic is supply chain management, it is optional that you can upload a small video, but you don't have to do that. It's not mandatory.
Does this program allow users to upload entire lectures an hour and a half?
If you have a long video like 1 hour, like that, we recommend that you put it on like YouTube. And we're going to have a media server separately because this server is limited with the space we have. So we don't want to put a lot of big files into this server. But if you have just like 1 hour or longer than that, then for now it is better to put it on like YouTube and the link to the system. Yeah. In the future, we're going to have our own media server.
If it is only for students, I mean like if it is intention only for my students, if I put on YouTube,
You can put it on YouTube, but you don't put it on public. You can limit the visibility into something like unlisted. Unlisted because it don't go for searching. You not search for it. Yeah. When you put it on YouTube, you can categorize the visibility, right? You want to go on public, or you want to go in private or unlisted. So if it is private, it's only you can see. If it is called public, anyone can search and can see. But if you go unlisted, so you cannot search it. So we recommend put it on YouTube and then you can ask unlisted. Then student can access to it with the link. Because we're going to put a link into the student's learning system so they can see. They don't have to search you on the YouTube. You just go on with the link that you provide here.
Or I would like to add, you can upload your video also on your Google Drive. The Google Drive of that university provides you, and then you can copy the link and put it there. And you make the link from here that directs students to that video in the Google Drive.
But the video on Google Drive has, you have to make sure that you share it. But if you don't share it, then they cannot access to it.
Real quick, I ran into numerous issues still going through this method because although I sent it out to students, they requested access to it, and I was unable to locate where I could automatically enable access. Instead, I would have to manually click on each and every single student. Is there a more streamlined way to do this?
Okay, for this, I have encountered this problem by myself. The thing that I did, I uploaded the video inside the classroom drive. If you go to Google Drive, you will have the particular drive for particular classroom. And then you allow students from that classroom to access. So only students that enroll to, for example, supply chain management, Google Classroom, can have the access to that video.
Okay, maybe we could meet afterwards, because I was at the university and give me a Google.
Yeah, if you would like some help, I can help you later. Okay?
Show later.
I'll show them that.
Let's have, because several people have the same issue.
Sorry, I just noticed PowerPoint. This cannot be uploaded.
No, it can be.
So, yeah. So what I would do is, this is short. Thank you.
Okay, first you go to your Google Drive, and then you will have classroom folder. You have classroom folder, okay? You get in. You will see the list of the Google Classroom that you are the teacher, that you have the access to. Okay, I'm going to choose the one from the last semester. Do you not see it?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so just talking a little bit. Now I'm demonstrating you how to put the content. In the Moodle, we can have three kinds of content. The first content is about the text. So we put it as HTML, online document. Okay? In HTML format, you can have two types. The first one is called page. Page is just a simple page which can contain text, image, video, you can put them into one page. If you have several pages, then you can have, if you have a collection of pages, then you can put it as a book. So it has a book which is divided into chapters. So it's like you have several pages putting together as a collection. So you can have a book which can click on each link, each chapter. It provides you the table of content as well, so it's easy for navigation. Okay? So that is about the HTML format. The second format of the content is about file. You can put files like PDF file, PowerPoint file, Microsoft Word, Excel, other file that are possible to protect. Okay? And also the voice and also the video file also possible to protect. This is the second type of content. And the last format of the content is link. You can link to YouTube, you can link to other pages, you can link to other external resources. These are linked. So, three types of content. The first one is HTML, second one is the files, and the third one is the link. So, three types. We try to demonstrate here. Basically, if we put our file into the Google Drive, we share with many people, so students can access to it. But that one, it's not only the student in your class that can access, but anyone in the internet you can search and can access to your file if you do that. So if you want to limit people to access to your file, so you have to create a group. Usually we do this in Google Classroom, they provide groups already. So you can set that you want to share this file with what group of students. You can do that. But now here we having some problem how to show you sharing on the Google Drive. We will talk about this. Yes.
Actually,
I just forget.
Actually, I realized that I found the same problem with student asking to teach. And I stopped the problem, but right now I forgot how to do it. I think I can use an example of this one. I'll get that from my appreciate that. How to do it? Maybe I will share this but actually you are not going to
Okay, can everyone search for this course, demo course 101. To go to search this one, you click on home on the left hand menu. Click home. Click home on the left menu. After you get out from the course, then get down. You can search for the course. It's called demo course 101. Demo course 101. And then you can see the course. It's called demo course 101. Can you find? Yes. Please enroll yourself into the course. Please enroll yourself into the course. What I want to show you is about the lesson plan. The lesson plan. Okay, good. After you get in, you can see the lesson plan. There are two links about the lesson plan. One is about the template. Another one is about the sample. Now look at the sample first. Example. This is the example that we plan. We plan to have this kind of online activities with students. You can have three kinds of activity each week, each content. The first one is more warming up content, warming up activities. For example, this course is my course. It's the introduction to data science. Before starting the content, I have 3 tests with 10 multiple choice questions, and they will be allowed to do it only once. After that, we're going to have a video introduction about the topic, and then we get into the content by PowerPoint together with video. You can see that usually we have 2 contents bundled together. The first one is text content. The second one is video content. They usually put them together because students can access to text. At the same time, they also can watch the video. They can present different kind of content, the same content, the same structure of content, but different details. Like text has an advantage of access, random access. We call it as random access. With text, you can access into any section of the text, right? So you can get example, you can get information that you like easily. At the same time, video can give a lot of details, right? You can speak, you can talk a lot into the video, but students can have to look at it on sequential, right? Start from the first one, and it's difficult to skip, right? So it's more difficult to get the information at a particular point by the video, right? So it has both advantage and disadvantage of these two types of information. So usually we put them together, text and video together. This is usually we do it that way. And then the last one is after learning, we usually assign students to do some assignments. For example, this one is asking students to work on the Google Docs to write introduce themselves on their passion, on their understanding of Google, the data science concept, for example. Okay, and then go on to next week, the later week. The later week I have a topic, say data science concept. In data science concept, I start the class by reviewing quiz. Reviewing quiz is a small quiz, maybe 10 questions, one attempt only one time, and then video introduction to the topic simply. In video introducing the topic is going to be a teacher like me talking about today what we are going to cover. In this topic, what's going to talk about? So it's about talking about the overall topic first, before getting into the content. And then during the content, we have PowerPoint again, and then we have discussion. This discussion on the application of the data science. So as another topic, the application of data science. Okay, and say discussion. This discussion is it is called what's that called? Asynchronous communication, asynchronous learning. Meaning is we set up 3 days for discussion. Students can post and can reply anytime they have they're available and they feel like to participate. So it's not like require you to be online at the same time together to participate on this discussion, right? It's different. Number 3, you can see number 3, wrapping up, no sorry, the activity of the content. Number 3, wrapping up with Google Meet. So this time, students have to meet online, real time. We call them as synchronous communication. Meaning is you have to be online at the same time. Everyone has to face-to-face discussion, similar to that. So we can wrap up. We can ask students, we can say, what did we get from the discussion on number 2? And who participate and not participate. You can make a conclusion on that topic. And then it followed up with a self-checking quiz with 20 questions. Right? So in these 20 questions, it's like what was, sorry?
I was just going to ask you a question about Google Meet. Do you know what the capacity of that is in terms of how many people can be connected at the same time?
I think it's 100 something.
Google Meet allow maximum 250.
250.
Okay, because the dilemma that he and I have, we teach psychology, and there's almost 400 students per section.
Yeah. That's quite
So that's obviously too many.
Too many. So I think the discussion could be an option. With that kind of, you may have a video presentation first, and then following up with discussion. That is possible. You can open the topic, and then people keep on participating in the topic. Yeah. But with the conference, I don't think that's a good option. Yes. So this self-checking quiz 20 the questions, and we allow them to do it 3 times. They can do it 3 times. And this one is not talking about the score. You can count them as score, or you may not count them as score, depending on you. For example, you say that you do it 3 times, you don't count it as score because this 3 times is for you to practice. That is possible. Or you can say that, okay, you do it 3 times, but then you count the best score of the test that you do it. That is also possible. But you will count that for how many percent, that's another story, right? You will count it for 3%, 5% of the total cost, that is another topic to discuss. And then again, after learning the 4th activity, we have assignment. This assignment is asking students to write a personal blog and to reflect on the impact of data science, for example. Okay. So you can see that there are assignments which students can see their feedback immediately, right? And then there are assignments that they cannot see the feedback immediately. That means we as a teacher have to reflect or give feedback to students on those assignments. So these are examples of activities that you can do blended learning. Yeah. But what here is not covered is about in-classroom activities. We don't put here. You can do it later. You can do it later for this. So these are the templates. This is the template that you can utilize it. Okay, the link is on there on the demo or 101. So you can design your course, what sort of activities you want to do. Some activities can be online, some activities can be offline in the classroom, right? Yeah.
Lesson template.
Lesson plan template.
Lesson plan template.
Okay, this is still in the demo course 101. Okay, if you move lower, you go back. You click back. You move lower. You can see pre-test. You can see concept of data science. My book. You can see the green icon. Those are books. You can click in the book concept of data science. Okay, so these books look like in this lower preview. You can see chapters, chapter numbers. You can say you can do 2 by 2, 2 by 1, whatever. This is book format into this Moodle. And each chapter is just like 1 page. You can do this as well. You can do this. Just to show you. And go back. In the afternoon, we talk about quiz. In the quiz, you can see, for example, you do pre-test. You can do a quiz, a short quiz. You can do midterm examination or final examination, do it for this quiz. And this will be the content in the afternoon. Okay. For now, we're going to show you booklet.
So lesson plan, you can have the template and then maybe go back and then try to fill in by yourself. You can make a copy actually. You can make a copy for yourself of this lesson plan. Okay? Okay, we stop at the page, right? We still not finish about the page, right? So let's go again. Add an activity or resources. Select which one you would like to add. For now, I would like to introduce you to the page. Okay? Select add. And then first thing you type the name. And the description of the content or description of the topic, that depends on you. You can put it, or if you don't want, you don't have to put it. But do not confuse with another box. Another box down here is the content, the text content that you would like to add to student. This we're still talking about the page. Okay? The page content here are something that you would like to give to students. For example, let's type something in there. Okay? This page content, the box, is something you would like to deliver to students. Something that you would like students to read. And then you scroll down, you see appearance. This one you can modify that you would like to display the page name or not. You would like to display the description of this page or not. Or you would like to display the date and time that you edit this page. So, you don't have to do anything about the appearance. Actually, it's set to default. What we see next, that is maybe interesting to you guys, is the restriction. The restriction. You click Add Restriction, and you shall see there are many types of restrictions you can put for specific content. You may think, okay, if student didn't finish the first discussion, student cannot continue the next session. If student didn't finish the first video, student cannot continue the quiz, for example. If student didn't finish whatever course, whatever content, student cannot continue to individual assignment, for example. This depends on how you set the restriction. Okay, this is the activity completion that I just talked about. And then the date. You can set the restriction according to the date. And then the grade. If student got a grade lower than this, cannot access to this, but we don't do that, right? We open to everyone. And user profile, you can set to male, female, international students. Okay, but this you will try to do it later because it is quite complicated. But what you can do right now is the activity completion. This one is quite easy. Okay, if you have many activities prior to this content, you click activity completion. And then you can choose which one before this that you would like students to complete before they can continue this one. Okay? For example, students must finish lesson plan sample first before students can continue this topic, this page. Yeah, because you don't have any activity before, so you don't have this menu.
Can you receive a recipient?
Okay. After you set the restrict access, next you can set the activity completion. You can set the activity completion. You see this completion tracking, and you have this drop-down list. There are 3 things you can set for students. First, do not indicate activity completion. Means you don't want to track whether students finish this activity or not. It's on their own. The second one, student can manually mark the activity as completed. Means if student, and you will not have the idea whether student read it or not. Student just click mark, we finish already. But what I use the most is show activity as complete when conditions are met. So we are now setting up the condition for activity completion. The system have only one restriction for the page. Okay? For the different resources, you have different restriction. For the page, require student to view. Okay? Student must view this activity to complete it. When student click to view that, the system will automatically mark that this activity is completed. But student have to click to see this content, to see this page. And you can put the expect completion, expected date of completion. Okay? But we would like to give students more freedom, right? So we don't want to put the date to restrain them. And then you can save. Oh, this one really should. So I will not put the restriction right now. And return to course. And then you will see the page that you just create. Okay? For this page, named Intro IT, you can click on the pencil icon to edit the names. Intro 2. And then enter. And then you change the name right there. Okay? On your right hand side, you see the edit button. On your right hand side, you see the edit button. And you see the list of the things that you can do. Edit setting. If you click edit setting, you will go back to the setting of the page. Okay? If you click hide, this resource or activity will be hidden from student. If you click hide, student will not see this activity or resources. And if you duplicate, you will have these resources, okay? You have a copy of it. And then you can delete it if you don't want it. On your left hand side, you see this directional mark, the plus mark. You can move it along with all the contents. For example, you would like students to see the intro to IT first, you drag and move it to the first content, first topic. Or you can move it to the second, to the third, or to the last. Depending on your study plan, your lesson plan. Okay? This is making it a little bit flexible for you to customize it later. So some of you might have the PowerPoint material, PDF, or other file type, Microsoft Word or Excel spreadsheet that you would like to upload to student. You can also upload to them by the same place, adding activity or resources. But this time, you select file. You select file. And then click add. Same thing, you name the file. Okay? You name it. IT by whole, for example. IT by whole. Again, the description is optional. Okay? The description is optional. If you scroll down, you will see the box that you can drop the file. Or you click and then choose the file from your computer. So I will choose one file, exercise lesson 1 to 5, and then upload. You follow it? And then on the setting, you have pretty much the same setting for the resources, right? You can customize the setting by yourself right now. Okay, restrict access, restrict or not. Activity completion, you would like student to open it or not before student can complete this activity. When you finish, you click save and return to pause. And you will see it is a little bit different from page. It will show the type of the file that you upload. If you upload the PDF, the icon will be PDF. So you upload Microsoft Word, the icon will be Word. And you click it there, it just downloads the file automatically. Student will download the file automatically. Good? There is another resource that I would like to show you, and this is something that many of lecturers try to give students, which is the external video from YouTube, video from other sources. We use URL or link to upload the video link to direct students to other sources. This URL doesn't have to be the video only. It could be the normal web page with the information. Okay? It could be a Thai government website.
In the case that, for example, you can post something that you use that
Okay. There's a question here asking that, okay, we do a lot of things. How about we want to check it how the students see it, right? We want to see how students see it, right? So we can do that by clicking up here on the top right corner. The top right corner, you click on your name, and then you can see switch row to. Switch row to. And you can see that there's several rows. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe you are different from mine because I may have more choices. Here you can choose students. So you are actually simulating yourself as students. So you can see that if you click on your students, this is what students you see in your course. Okay. But if you go out of the course like this, you may not see your own course because if your course is hiding, that means they cannot see your course. So make sure that you show it so students can see. For example, you make some change on the description of the course like this. You have to set it to be shown. Then you can see from this page. Okay. So this is how we check it. So you actually switch role to students, and then you can simulate yourself as students. Then you can see your courses. And don't forget that if you switch role to students, you have to switch it back to teacher. Then you can do what you can do previously. For now, for example, I changed myself to students. Then we indicate up here, Nikon is my name and is now student. So I can see my role over here. And then I can see as a student, you see the system. So this is the system. When student log into the system, this is what we're able to see. And you have to switch it back to my normal role. And then now I'm becoming a teacher, and then I can do editing. Yes?
So the activity will be, directed by the platform, right? You don't have to use, as you know, there is a kind of files called SCORM files that you can use, and then you put the activity that is under the platform only. You don't have to go with third party. So in this case, when you create the quiz, you don't have to use the SCORM files anymore, right?
No. But you can do stop over here. You can see that.
Yeah, I saw that there was the icon, yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, because normally if you insert something, then with the redirect to the third party. If you want the activity to be under the platform, you have to use the SCORM file.
Yeah.
So in this case, you don't have to use the SCORM file anymore.
You don't need that.
Okay. So in the Moodle you do, but here you don't. Right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because I cannot go back to my teacher.
Don't forget to switch role back to your normal role. And then you can make decisions.
Thing is, it's just that if you want something, you can use video, you can make a quiz that you create by yourself, which in Google, Google Forms, it's there are many things that you can do. It's just that for us as teachers, you want to put a recording, you want to put a small like log with your friends, you can upload it very easily. While it's in Google Forms, so you have to use a third-party recorder and then upload the file and then it's not just have more possibilities, you know that you just have more possibilities.
Later you may see some advantage and disadvantage between the two platforms.
Depends on our needs and it depends also like how we run there are so many trainings, in this university. This is the main problem. 2 weeks ago, it was hundreds of things. When we needed that, ego went out so slow. Ego was very late to provide service to the university. During midterm, nothing. And now this time again, this kind of things we should have had it like June. Yeah, we should have done it in June, because now and then this will become mandatory, and you go like what?
This one is like it is doesn't really one-way communication. We post constantly where which part of the Moodles or LMS should have the class to be interactive.
You can add, for example, I show you the lesson plan. We have discussion, right? You can have add an activity over here, and when you add an activity, you can see you can have a chat, you can have a forum. This kind of thing you can discuss certain topics.
Is it allow us to have live?
If you want live, then it has to be chat. Chat is the live.
Chat is
But we don't have something like video conference, because those video conference you have to still use Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, those kind of things.
So it means that
No, it doesn't. But it can integrate into those. No, those can integrate into Moodle, into this kind of thing. I will show you now how can be integrated. Okay. Okay, let's now I'm going to show you how can we put links. For example, we have video on YouTube. For example, video on YouTube. Okay, let's start a YouTube video and then I will show you how can we put links into this YouTube. For example, this video, right? This is YouTube video, and we want to show this video to students. So basically, this is linked to the video. This is the link to the video. So we just copy it. You just copy this link. It's called URL, and then you go back to the link, the Moodle, and then you click on URL, and then with the URL, you can put introduction to so we give a link, and then put a link into the box, and then we just say save. Then we have this one, the link. Okay? So that's easy.
This must be directed to YouTube website, right?
It depends. It can be external, it can be yours, it can be an organization, it can be a MFU. It can be, it's just a link.
YouTube.com, right?
Yeah, YouTube.com.
Which link did you take? The HTTP normally, right?
Yes, exactly.
Normally URL, right?
Yeah, normally, yeah.
So it will pop up in another window.
Yeah. If you direct into that video link.
Okay, it's not in the Moodle platform.
No. If you pop up, it will come up. you can put the URL and then you direct students into that content, right? If you have an external web page, again you can share students with those kind of content. For example, I search for data science. Let's say I have this data science widget here. I want to share this link to students. Again, I can copy this URL and then send it to students. Copy it and then put it up to the system and then share the URL with the students. Okay, yes, and then put the link into it. That's it, and then now it shows to the students. You can see it. Okay. So yes, we uploaded our own video Yes. The question is, if you upload your video, right? If it takes us, you put it on YouTube or you put it on here. I think. Or you put materials. If you update it, yeah. Exactly. If you update the system. If you not direct to myself, you update it. Okay. We can student have you they can come if they don't use it. They would like to say for us, but you it's not just good. So everything how many of you can use Google Meet? Can you raise your hand? Okay. You use Google Meet, right? So I will show you now how to make how can we integrate Google Meet into the Moodle. Okay. So this way you can have meeting with students on this platform. First of all, we have to get into Google Calendar. First of all, we have to get into the Google Calendar. In this Google Calendar, you can see that there's several activities that we have, and then we can make an appointment. Okay, we can make an appointment. For example, this is on Google Calendar. Okay, on the second September, I want to make an activity. I want to make an appointment with students. I click on it on the left hand, left click, and then say that. Okay, data science one is the calendar and put the okay, and then I say that okay, and then I click add here, add Google Meet video conference. This is on Google Meet, and this is on Google Calendar.
A minute please, can you open the Google Calendar and you can follow this steps. How to open Google Calendar?
Go to calendar.google.com.
Yeah. You have more?
And you just search Google Calendar from the Google, and then you just click and log in with your MFU email. Yes, and then you can see what's the speaker shows on the screen.
Just like I told you.
Okay.
Okay.
everyone open the group?
Now I want to make an appointment to meet students on the 2nd of September. Okay, so I click on the 2nd of September, click left hand, left click, and then I'm going to add a meeting appointment. I say that DS meet 1. This is just naming. Okay? And then I say that okay, I'm going to meet them at 10 o'clock. Okay? And this is important is this one. Add Google Meet video conference. Add Google Meet video conference. Click on it here. Add Google Meet video conference. Okay. You click on add Google Meet conference and then save it. Save this appointment. Okay. You save this appointment. You save the appointment and then you click on the appointment again. Okay. Click on the appointment again. Now it comes with this one. You see that? Copy the. When you are using mouse to on the join with the Google Meet, it comes with this icon. So you click on this copy conference link. Okay, now you have a link to the Google Meet. Now you go back to the Moodle LMS. And now you can create our meeting appointment.
Okay, our meeting place. You know what we are doing right now? What we are doing is we create an event on Google Calendar, right? And then we connect with the Zoom, and then we copy Google Meet. We copy the link or URL of Google Meet, right? You copy, and then we're gonna paste it on the Moodle.
Yes. So you just do it as the URL, like we use on YouTube, things like that. We click on URL, and then we add it, and then you put the name.
You can name anything here. For example, meet me with fun.
Yeah. This is just for naming. Let us meet, for example, and then you put the link down here, and then you save it. Like that.
You can name anything. Meet me free Wi-Fi. This is just putting the URL.
I indicate a little bit, saying, let us meet, and then I put Google Meet at the back side, so they know which platform we're going to use. Okay? So, with that information, they know that we are going to use Google Meet, and they know that with Google Meet, you can just use the browser. You don't have any additional application. Just the browser is enough for Google Meet. But for like Zoom, like WebEx, you have to got an extra application like Microsoft Teams as well. You have to have the extra application. So you can see that you go to Google Calendar, you make the appointment. With the appointment, you can have a link. With the link, you can add it here. So when it is a time to start the Google Meet, they can see the time that you can set up the time here, and also in Google Meet the calendar. And then you can meet students on the online.
Ajahn asked, there will be integration of WebEx meeting inside it.
Why use the Google Mail? And if you already use the Google Mail, why you do not integrate to this platform? Because and if you use the Moodle, right? If you can insert the WebEx meeting, how come and if you cannot insert directly the Google Meet in the thing, and then we don't have to go through all this process.
Because in Moodle they don't provide the features that integrate Google Meet. Not like the WebEx can have a feature.
And because you are using and you will be able to do it.
Yeah, therefore we can develop this application and then we can, yeah, we
So we wouldn't have to go through this process, and the people who use like WebEx, just click on WebEx, people who use Google Meet, no?
Yeah, that is possible.
That is possible, right?
That's possible.
That's a good technical question.
But this kind of basic integration, you can do with Google Meet, WebEx, Microsoft Teams.
You got the university got the copyrights, right? And Microsoft Teams and all this stuff, right? So if you could like just integrate everything, so when the people, the teacher want to use it, then at least they can use whatever they want.
That is what the university want to do. But from time to time, we gonna develop that. Add more features. We want more team. Very quick. Okay, very quick.
For example, WebEx, if you integrate it into the system, you can have more features. For example, you can record the conference, and you can come back and to see the recorded file.
So they can do that with Facebook too. And it's recorded in Facebook, so what is the advantage of being on here?
Yeah.
You know, this is my point. So this is
integrate
the different things that the university got, you know, like but the copyright for Microsoft Teams or this or that, just integrated into one platform. So with the teacher, then we can have access to it, and everyone just use what they want, and we use one platform because this is the thing that we want.
What we have done just now is just the beginning. Because this Moodle, there are so many powerful and interesting activities. We're going to cover that in a moment. Powerful features, powerful activities. For example, you can let students to do drag and drop. Learning activities, quiz, game, puzzle, group meeting. Forum, webboard, and also later on in this afternoon you're going to see that. Because what we have done just now is just the beginning. You may see some features are similar to what you have used in other programs.
Anyone of you here using Microsoft Teams?
I have used Microsoft.
Using Microsoft Teams. I'm showing you the same thing that we do in Google Meet. In Microsoft Teams, we do the same thing, okay? First of all, on the left hand, you can start with Google Meet if you want. And on the left hand, you use calendar. Same thing, you create your appointment. With you can create your appointment, okay? And then you can add something like any name. Here you have to add at least one participant. At least one participant that you need to invite. Okay. You can set up times you want when to start the meeting. This is Microsoft Teams. In Microsoft Teams, you are required to install the external additional applications.
Put it in there.
And then you save it, and you send this invitation to the participants. After sending it, you will have this invitation link. You can see on the below page over here. That is the link to the meeting. So you actually can right click on it and choose to copy link, and then you do the same thing on this. This link. So basically, we create an appointments on the calendar, and then we copy the links and then put into the Moodle. So that is basic procedure. Then do this online meeting appointment.
This platform, the university just launched it last week, as you can see there's some announcements, right? And the university wants us to implement this system to all of you. That's why we have this workshop today, and we're gonna have more workshops in the near future to let you know more insightful and powerful features of each activity. Today is just the beginning. The foundation, let's say, is the foundation.
The students have a training on this when the platform is set, because it's okay to for the teachers now, but I think the students can be also very confused. And when the teachers use one thing, like Facebook and Microsoft Teams and this and that, there's no way to join the teacher. So in theory, this is good because you put everything in one place and the students know where to find you only in one place. Yes. But would there be something to teach the students?
Yes.
Yes, it's okay.
We're going to have an online course, especially for students. At the same time, we are also developing a manual teaching students how to use it. We're talking about having like face-to-face teaching students, like workshop like this one, but it's going to be a very huge class. So it probably can be just online class. So, for example, we can record teaching and put it on video and let students to watch it online that way. But mostly we started using this tool in our class, in our own class. So the first year and second year students, they know how to do this. But the third year and the fourth year may not
When you say we, who is we?
We the team. Means group IT.
Okay, so the student of School of IT.
The whole university. The whole university. They experienced this system before in our course.
But you have some mandatory course that all the first year students have to follow?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a general education course.
General education course, okay, good.
So the first year and second year they know how to do
They
it.
know how to use it because they have to follow the G course.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so this much we're going to cover this morning, talking about how to manage the content. You can look at the activities. You can see different kind of activities. You have books, you have file, you have folder, you can have label, page, and URL. These are kind of resources for content delivery. So you put your different kind of content into this kind of resources for students. And up here we have different kind of activities for students. For example, assignments. We're going to look at it in the afternoon, right? Assignments.
Please, can you scroll down? You see in this page, in this window, there are two main functions, right? Below is resources that you all have covered in this morning. It's kind of you pull everything of your resources, learning resources, link, URL, YouTube, PowerPoint, or even you can create a book, a folder here, over here. These features, some of these features may similar to other platforms, but up here, okay, the resources and above, activities. I'm sure that these activities are not similar to other platforms, and these activities will engage your students. And each of these have so many options. You can customize, you can configure to match your preference, your style of teaching, your style of courses. Okay, and you're gonna see this in this afternoon. So this afternoon, don't miss. If you miss, you cannot talk to anyone because your friends may go further than what you think. No. I just show the features that this other is gonna be helpful. Yes. For example, you have the big assignment. You want to assign to our students in maybe 100 groups. In our course, we have 300 students in our course. How we organize our students into maybe 300 groups with this system. We ask them we give them some assignment, we give them some project, and these 300 groups have to stand up and work with us via this system. We have done that for several years with this platform. And I think you may struggle with this problem as well. Some of you maybe. Cheating?
Because that's the main issue for all.
Okay. Technically, we can do, but physically, you cannot do. Yes. Technically means we can set the option, config it. You cannot move to other page. You cannot copy, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. You cannot open multiple websites at the same time. Technically, we can do that. But physically, you cannot stop that cheating. If that is the literacy, we need to promote that literacy to them. Because if they do the exam at home or somewhere else, you cannot stop them. Having no one beside them. And also, one student has multiple devices. You cannot ask them, hey, take me the photo, show me you have nothing in your pocket, you have nothing on the table. Teacher shouldn't do that, right? We should promote the flexible learning, flexible assessment. That's what we need to transform. That's what we need to redesign the examination, the assessment. Right? Because now the education has changed. Right? All students are not under vision, are not under in our supervision, like in the exam and you look around. That is not the modern education in this era, right?
But I don't think that cheating is the main issue. Learning online was not, there was no more cheating than the physical examination. I think this was the
And what you say is a good point. This challenge university is taking into consideration, and they're going to have several measures launching.
When you do the activities like this, it's separated by section 1. So for example, when I log in, I saw section 1, section 1, section 1, section whatever. When you have one subject, for example, French 1, and there is a coordinator, which is section 1, 2, and then section 3, 4. The activities that I post are only seen by me, are also seen by the coordinator.
Okay, that's a good question. These platforms can do more of that. We can say whether it's going to be seen by the whole teachers from several sections, or it can be seen by the corresponding lecturer of that section.
So we can choose, or it will be imposed by us, by the university.
The teacher can choose as well.
Not the coordinator, right?
Yes. Because each activity you can say whether it's going to be seen by section or it's going to be seen by the whole course.
So the one when I enter with my email, I can send that thing, right?
Pardon?
When I log in with my email, I myself staff, whether it will be seen by all the teachers who teach that subject or only get to me to my students, right?
Yes.
The coordinator has absolutely no role whatsoever in this, right? The coordinator is not like the REG that can just do whatever they want, right?
Technically, we can say yes or no, because it's up to what we gonna say. For example, in one course there are 3 roles: manager, teacher, and students. If you don't want to have this role to overrule all this, we can set the whole course having no manager, just all the teachers. So you all are the same. But not basically, we're gonna set the coordinator of the course as the managers, basically. But we can change that if your course agree.
If the other teachers agree, right? I mean, the coordinator should not have that amount of power on the
It's not a power. It's not a power. It's not a power. Okay. You see, you can see. As I wrote.
Basically, by default, we let the coordinator to be manager, and the manager can say anything into that course. But if you would like to not do this, you like to say that, okay, I want to just see my course. I don't want others, teachers, to see what I do. Then you can set up that specially for your course, so you can request and talk with us in detail.
On this. But this is another question out of the video. But something to think about now that when we will have to use this one, you should be able to say to your teacher.
Okay.
So this is not compulsory to use Moodle.
It will be, but not today, not this semester. It will be changed gradually. Because we don't want, we want to promote, we want you to see the potential of the Moodle, right? And you see that, okay, it's better than the classroom that we have already. So we gradually change into the elements that we have. But we can't say that, okay, this semester we're going to stop using Google Classroom. We cannot say that.
But will you in the future and in the future plan to close down the I mean, I don't know whether this is on your plans.
We can't say for now. Okay. We can't say for now.
So today, the Moodle is just the option, another option for you guys.
But we're going to provide support for both. So, for example, you can see your course, including students, in both systems. In the both platforms, like in the classroom and also this LMS, you will see your students. But you have to tell them that, okay, we're going to use LMS or we will use classroom. So you stick to your plan, right? You're not swapping here and there. You stick to one solution.
I mean, looking at this on what I understand is like, it's pretty much like on how we run the class and what the class needs, right? I mean, perhaps like between one subject or another subject, they have different needs to run the class. Maybe it's like this platform is the best for this subject, but not for the other subject. So I think the option is still
I'm not sure about that. But for sure, this one has more features and has more control, right? Has more control. For example, you can control that. When you finish this task, you can go on to the next task. That one you cannot do it in the classroom. The task on Moodle, it has more varieties of the tasks that you can do it. Not like a Google Classroom. What you do in Google Classroom is the first announcement, second one you put on your slides, and third one you need with integration of the Google form. Right? And in the Google form itself, it also has some limitation, like you cannot put pages. Everything has to be on one page. And when it crashes the whole thing. You still have to redo all the questions again and again. Right? But this one, it has an advantage that it will, we can set up pages. Let's say one page for 5 questions, and it will save students' work, page by page. So the student work will not ruin when the connection crash on the power cut. So they can come back and continue the work. So we want to show you that they have this option is more powerful. That's what we're trying to communicate. But we cannot commit that, okay, next semester the Google Classroom is going to stop, you're going to totally come to Outlet. You cannot say that.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Yeah, it's gonna take some time for you guys to learn, to experience, and then we're gonna cover something new. Today just let you know what the features are, what the system is, but then your experience is gonna be your lesson to improve your course.
For example, if you have a very big class with multiple sections, so it's going to be very beneficial for you, this system, rather than just Google Classroom. Like what we experienced last year, we have like 3,000 students into our GE course in total IT. So we have 3,000, and from the third week, we let them do group work. 3,000 students with 700 groups. They can choose their own, they can form their own groups and inform us that they go together. So they're doing a mini research project. They have to do some online survey, students participate, doing analysis, documentation, and also the slides presentation. So this is the group work that we have started to do before the midterm. Yeah.
The problem is
Yes, several of you have commented about this. Internet connection very bad in the campus, right? And yes, we admit that. And we are on the process of improving it. IT Center is doing their job improving this. They got the grant and they are improving it. So hopefully, before next year, we're going to have a powerful connection. And for now, the reason is we don't know. We don't want teachers to conduct online discussion. No, online conference, let's say that. Because in online conference, like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, you consume a lot of bandwidth connection. If let's say at the same time you have like 10 courses conducted at the same time. Let's say these 10 courses you have 100 students joining the meeting. You consume a lot of bandwidth of the connection. So that is why we try to promote this. So promote this, that means you record the whole video, you put it online, and you can have a chat, you can have a forum to discuss about the topic. Instead of having online conference, because online conference consuming too much of the bandwidth. We support you about technically what setting, but we're not going to produce for you. We're not going to produce for you. We can give you advice, and we can support you a little bit about those small media like cover or banner, but not producing the video for you.
That's what I'm doing.
That's the point that we need to discuss further, because nowadays we haven't talked much about the copyright, about the intellectual property of these things. But what we know that the executive of this university try to promote what you guys are doing on the online system, and that would be your portfolio to be evaluated each semester or each year. And right now we have another Facebook page for the Learning Innovation Hub, and what we are trying to do today and in the near future, there are so many activities for you guys. You can get up to date from this page. So all of you, can you please scan this QR code?
In English?
Yes, we will do it in both Thai and English. You can scan this here, or you can search from this one.
Did I understand right? Our portfolio of our own evaluation. What was said about the portfolio evaluation?
He's talking about when you are asking for what's that called? The assistant professor.
Oh, okay.
You can apply this kind of work like you're teaching. For example, instead of making a traditional book, you're making a book in overhand, just like we did just now. That book, that interactive book, can be counted for your assistant professor application.
How many books?
That is another story. How many books?
Because I'm doing all the books now, so I was thinking that maybe I can just transform my books to this one.
The HR department is discussing about this, trying to make criteria about this evaluation. Because what they have right now is only for traditional book. They don't have online books for now, but they're changing it.
They are changing it. So I should prepare to change my to be online books, right?
Yeah. But if you have already the traditional book, they always count. No matter today or tomorrow, they count.
Yeah, maybe less, no?
Yeah.
Maybe less, maybe like internet, maybe only 2 and traditional 4.
Yeah, things like that. Because it's more powerful, right? You can interact with it. You can see video, photos, and so on.
Edo does have any training on how to make online book?
Online book, not yet, not now, not yet. We're going to have a series of training. For example, doing student analysis, student grading, doing some kind of photos, simple media production, and so on, but not covering to make a whole book like that. But I think Edo may be having that kind of making a traditional book course. That I'm not sure. I think it may happen. But we are separate. I'm not sure about to say that.
Transforming.
We are extra. We are extra from Edo. So I don't understand totally about Edo.
Okay, and sorry. Just now I show you the Facebook fan page of the Learning Innovation Hub. Anything about teaching and learning, anything about workshop activities, anything about the technology media regarding teaching and learning, you can follow that Facebook. There's gonna be a series of activities, series of updates showing up very soon. Very soon. And next week, we're gonna have this event, the Teaching Hub, for the first time of this university. So I invite all of you to join this activity, and there are 3 highlights that you can't miss. The first one, there'll be, the special fan club, the executive, showing off in this club and announcing some interesting news for you guys. So don't miss. And just now you talk about whether or not the university support you to develop the media, the multimedia, the graphics. These things will be announced in this class as well. And in this class, we encourage all of you to share and discuss about your teaching experience, teaching problem, teaching challenges. And then we're gonna learn from each other. This event is going to be on the September the 3rd, the first day, September the 3rd, from 15 to 6:30. You can register with this URL. I think this announcement is already on the live group. You can scroll up and then you can register. You have any questions about teaching, like what you asked us today, you can ask the executive that day as well. Because we are not executive, some questions we cannot answer, but if you can directly ask to the executive, that is a good opportunity.
Is it here in this room?
Yeah, in this area.
We are not sure whether it's going to be this room, because if it's not many, then we're going to the first room on your left, and go and get it out. Yeah, that room. That room is called Pedagogy Experience. It means to be for giving advice to teachers who are having difficulty of using LMS, who are having difficulty of designing their classroom activity. You come to that room, we give you advice and help you to plan your classroom activity. So that is the first room. It's called Pedagogy Experience Room. And this room is actually bigger. So depending on how many people join it, if it's a lot, then we come to, otherwise it's going to the first room. So but anyway, it's going to be the same floor.
The problem that I have found for my subject, as I teach English for general English, that includes 3,380 students. As I have seen here, I cannot separate into my section, my own section. So when I post something, the student for 3,000 something can see all. So it's not fair for my students.
First of all, yes, all can see, but you can set restriction. In restriction, you can limit people to see it. Whether you want all sections to see it, or you want only particular section to see it.
Okay.
Is that how should In restriction, you can say that who can see your content, who can do your activities like quiz. On your course, if you look into the participants, the left-hand menu participants, we divide the students into sections. You can see the list of students. They are divided up into the sections. So that group, that grouping, you can limit them to see or not to see the course activities.
Does it mean we create one student in our section?
What do you mean by just
for example, let's say this challenge for our student, like in the pool, maybe in section 1, she might have one person. So does it mean when she choose that student, one and one?
You can have a filter. In filter, you choose only section 1, and you see all the section 1, and then you click select all. Exactly. We have put all students and divided into groups in the sections.
So no solution.
Okay, for the registration, this afternoon we're going to make it in English. So you guys can come down. English, sorry. Okay. If you are interested in this event, you can register here. Maybe in this afternoon because we're gonna make it in English, so you canเข้าใจ more what to study. Yes, yes. Okay, Your questions today are very interesting. Some questions we are not executive, we cannot answer. But your questions can direct to the executive. That in this event. You know, this location where we are now, right now, we call in short MALI, stand for MFU Learning Innovation Hub. MALI. Also next time if you want to mention about this place, you can simply call it MALI, MLI, okay? MALI. And MALI here, we have so many activities going on. You can stay tuned to that. And we want to make it for all lecturers, not just for Thai lecturers. That's why we make this event happen today, this workshop happen today. And the theme is relaxing, free snack and refreshing space. You just come.
So if you want another way of section, so you do the same. Restriction means
okay, and I think we have finished in the first half. The first half in this morning already. Now it's time for lunch, and then after lunch, you come back. You're gonna see some more powerful activities. Okay, and we hope that this morning you learned something and you can voice something to us. So enjoy your lunch and your convenience. This room will be safe.
It's that if you lock from the main door, the main entrance.
Yes.
The main entrance.
You can put your stuff here.
Your computer you can put it. You can leave it here. And lunch recommended. You may make square as sauce. Otherwise, E2 or E1 is also possible.
Okay, see you 1 o'clock. Okay, and enjoy your lunch. What time is good for you?